Hello, what's up? I'm Queen Lady Honey. I'm a Kingdom Ambassador for God the Father. I'm here to let you guys know some things that I've learned, right? And so before I get into that and tell you what the secret is, I want you guys to know that I'm enjoying life. Life has been good for me. And the why that is because I am a student learner. And I'm open to being rebuked, right? I'm open to being chastised. I'm open to the idea of not knowing a lot of things. I enter the day knowing that what I do and don't know. And sometimes I don't know what I don't know. And I allow the day to expose what I don't know. So I think that because I approach life as a student learner, that I don't really take life serious like everyone else. So I'm not competing for the attention of someone. I have my attention. And because I have my intentions are set to the things that are in front of me, right? So I just want to give that information to someone. If you are like bummed out about life, it's only because you're trying to have the life that other people have. And that's not the life that is for you. The life for you is for you to explore your curiosity. Because in the curiosities of who you are, you're going to develop your person. Right? That's why we can't look to the right or left and to have so much content that we take in, because we lose the sense of self. We lose our own identity, right? So just watch consumption. And when you watch consumption and you get bite sizes of the things that you consume, what you'll do is you'll activate who you are. So I'm activated in this hour. I'm so excited about becoming me, because it's always been a dream of mine to be me, right? But I allowed people pleasing, all those things to get in the way of me being the version of me that I deserve to be. So I've wrapped up recording a podcast, and as I was going in to record this podcast, I was so excited. I'm so excited about learning about God. I can't believe that God is such a good God, and so many people are just allowing God to just be on the table. And they're not picking up the best fighter, the best general, the perfect father. The reason why you're leaving God on the table is because you don't know who he is. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. I have a podcast episode coming to tell you about who my Father is. And if you haven't tuned into the podcast, it's okay. Because sooner or later, you're going to check out Queen Honey. And I do believe that the words that I speak will outlive me. I have a poem where I say, my blackness will go on and on and on and on. Because what I'm offering you is my Queen Lady Honey. I'm offering you the highest version of woman. And I know that you're not screaming about it. Is you don't even know how to take in what's good for you. And I'm okay with that, because I'm experiencing my good and I'm excited. So in that excitement, I'm so excited that I pulled over to allow the conversations to flow about the secret. So what's the secret, honey? So when I'm with God, I learn a lot of things. And it's hard for me to share all the things that I've learned, but this is one of the things that I've learned. And with me being a student learner, I've come to realize that there is meaning in everything that we do, in every encounter that we have. But we just have to make meaning of it. So life is meaningless when you don't see God having that day for you to be meaningful. So let me unpack that, right? Because I'm a deep thinker. All right. Days ago, I went live talking about a book that I'm reading. And so when I went live, I was explaining an experience that I was having while reading that book. And so I was talking about a low functioning people in that book, and people that have a spirit of entitlement, and or the people that haven't really worked out who they are internally, and they cast, you know, their low level comprehension on others, right? I was talking about a certain group of people that do that. But I want to also introduce you to people that I come in contact with that are high functioning people, right? Because if I talk about a low functioning people and I'm not a part of that group of people, I come on here to effectively communicate how to communicate effectively about how you feel on a matter. So I'm just an effective communicator, and I just want to teach you how I process my thoughts and how I try to use best practice to honor people as I'm delivering, you know, my heart stance on a matter, right? So I want you to hold that thought process, because as a child of God, I'm still called to love. I'm still called to truth, and I'm still called to grace. But as I do that, I don't omit truth. Right? So as I'm speaking truth, sometimes I'm speaking truth about low functioning people. But my God, there's another group of people on this planet Earth. They're high functioning. What do I mean by high functioning? It's like one group of people are deprived of how to use their time effectively. But then there's a different group of people that says, listen, the time that I have on earth, I'm going to be decided to make the best of it. So with that, I'm going through my sessions with my therapist. Yes, I see a therapist. And if you don't have a therapist, listen, check it out. Go see for yourself. Like, you have something on record. Someone else is taking notes about you. Someone is able to keep a track of where you are mentally. You need that. A therapist is for you, not against you. Right? So find someone that you connect with so that you can enjoy the process. So when I was sitting down with my therapist told me, so we were discussing some things that was working well. And I mentioned the place that I worked for. And I was talking about my leader, right? And the leader of the school, I've never experienced a leader like this. But what I've experienced sometimes is low functioning leaders. And nothing to them, because we all in a place of evolving and becoming and all of these things. We just meet people in different places of their growth process. So, but this particular woman, she is the highest version of leader that I've come in contact with, where I've been an employee. I'm not saying she's the most highest valuable woman I've met. I'm talking about in the context of her being over me and I'm working with her, right? And this woman knows who she is, yet she has this meek, unified presence about her. I didn't meet this woman until I became meek and unified, right? So you attract who you are to you, right? So I had to go through those different bosses who did not know how to appreciate or value someone like me, but she's not being who she is to value me. I'm valued by her because of who she chooses to be. Right? In her resting in her being, and I rest in my being, we get to be together in its beautiful harmony. Right? So when you move away from low functioning thinking and thinking that you can do life without unifying, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. Because in unity, that's where healing happens. And healing has taken place in the place where I work, right? And with this woman, I've made confessions about how this woman erupts this level of ambition and interest. It's like my belly leaps when I see her. And so I've never experienced that. So I'm not a person that's a butt kisser. So I have to sometimes contain how I compliment her because she is in a seat of authority. And I don't want it to come across that I want anything from her. But yet I'm a person that I am so joyful and so happy that I can't help but to compliment a woman whom I'm proud of, who I am inspired by. My therapist called this woman a role model of mine based off how I view her, right? And so, and it's because she's high functioning. It's because she's sure about who she is. So for you that's struggling on the other side and you're low functioning and the power and authority is all that you want. And you want that just so you could be over people to do what? Right? Wouldn't you want to provoke a feeling of a person being able to read your heart? It's like when she comes, I can see her heart. And I get to see her heart because she's dealt tenderly with her heart. Right? And she sits in a place of being self-reflective. I can tell that by how she approaches her day, how she approaches her conversations, how she handles every person in the building. So my eyes have seen that people can love well. People can be for all, but you have to be intentional. Now that's just one person in the building, right? There are other people that I work with. So I'm a part of the inclusion team where I get to pull in and help these teachers with keeping these students on grade level, right? So as I'm coming in to a community where I may not look like everyone, but I'm working with people who look just like me based off their hearts. And I love it because when you come into the school, you wouldn't expect that certain connections to happen, but they're happening. And they're happening because there are teachers in the building who have the same heart. And so when a like heart attracts a like heart who have the, just a heart of equality for all, right? And compassion and gentleness, goodness. So I'm in this place now. I told you I'm a student learner. I love to learn. So I have my first block of the day. I go in with a teacher named Miss Dillard, right? And I get in the classroom with her. I never know what to expect, even though I could go on and view the master schedule to see what she's teaching. I get to enter in that day like a fifth grade student. And so when I go into the day, I get to learn again. Not only do I get to be a student, right? I get to remember what I know, and I get to relearn things I forgot. And the things that I have forgotten, I'm not left alone to figure it out. This woman sits and she will teach me what I don't know. Oh my goodness. Listen, when you put pride and ego to the side and you get away from a mentality of you need to know everything and you stay in a posture of student learner, Me as a grown woman, I get to go to her and say, can you help me with this? Right? And she helps me. Listen, something culturally diverse is happening in this school because I'm helped by her, because she allows me to share her space, because she sees me as valuable, I get to become a new version of Honey. Right before her eyes, right before my eyes, and right before the students. They don't get to see this happening, but I do. Because I'm self-aware, right? I know when I'm being stretched. But say if I came in this community and I wasn't open to admire a woman, a leader that didn't look like me, right? And I had a mentality and said, I'm greater, I'm mightier than this woman, I would have missed the opportunity to admire. I would have missed the opportunity to be inspired. I would have missed the opportunity of her saying, become with me, honey. Right? There's space in this space of queendom for both of us. Right? If I wasn't comfortable not knowing some things, I perhaps would have ran away from the information like, I don't want to be here because I want to go to places where I'm comfortable, where I know majority of the information and I can just weaponize my wisdom or my intellect. See, that's not going to cut it. Because when I'm with God, all I'm doing is learning. So if someone's going to teach me, I'm going to be the student, baby. I'm going to kick back. And I'm going to allow her to put that degree to use and help me because it's going to help me overall, right? So I've had a great time learning again. I used to love math, right? And so I do have some other things that I'm doing to continue my growth process of learning. But when you go back to things you've learned before and you relearn them again, it allows you to give yourself credit for how brilliant you are to go to the next level, the next level, the next level. The reason I'm saying this is because some of you are in the building with women who you can learn from, but you refuse to learn from because your pride won't allow you to learn from them. You're closed off and you're missing an opportunity. If I thought that way, I would miss the opportunity of having the best boss I've ever had. Now, I don't know how long God will keep me there, but I can acknowledge her as being a woman that I want to step into, right? And it creates a healthier experience for me because there's no competition, right? She gets to be her beautiful, phenomenal self as I am a beautiful, phenomenal woman. And then here's this other woman who's beautiful and phenomenal. We look nothing alike, but our hearts match, right? I'm willing to teach. I'm willing to grow you. She's willing to teach. She's willing to grow me. So there's some common, that we have something common there, right? And so we can relate on that. Not even just like Miss Dillard. I leave there and I go to another classroom with Miss Wilner. Now, this woman, like all these women have a choice to make room for Honey in their classroom, right? And I am me. I don't know how to be anything else but who I am. But for some people, that may be a lot for them to take that in. So, but this woman has allowed me to do like small groups with her. And we are working that classroom. You hear me? We are working it. Oh my goodness. We are showing that we're better together. Because when we didn't work together, nothing got accomplished. But when we decided to work together, then beautiful things happen. And so when I'm speaking of unity and I'm talking about unity that testifies, I'm saying it. So I'm on here to give God credit for what he's doing. God is doing it. He's showing up. And I don't even know if the teachers or the students or if anyone noticed, but God is doing the impossible. You hear me? He is drawing us closer, whether we want to get close or not, baby. I'm loving it. Now, and then, you know, I love Miss McDuffie. I love these teachers because I get to experience what a group of people, when I'm talking about on other life, they didn't get to experience. They probably didn't experience this closeness, right? And we're just getting started. So I have Miss McDuffie. Now, there are a group of people who's ready to receive you day one, first day. Miss McDuffie was the first one. Like, listen, her and Miss Dillard, they did not play. They made a happy home. It was almost like I walked into their home. They were like, girl, sit down. I got you. And they just made room for me. So if you are out here and you don't buy into the mindset that we need to unify, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to see God move, see who God is, because God requires for us to be one body. Right? And if you are the person that needs to be the head of everything, no, honor who's in your building. Honor who's across from you, because there's beauty in that, right? So I'm here to tell you, I know that it was heavy when I was talking about a group of people. I'm talking about the character of a people for that time, right? There's seed time and harvest. You reap what you sow. I inherit great relationships, but before I was able to walk into an inheritance of good relationships, God needed to let me see prejudice. I had to understand racism. I had to go through a season of that. I had to understand jealousy and envy and hate. Why did God reveal those things to me? So I would know how to respond to it. Right? He revealed those things because he trusts me with those things. So when I speak on topics and I'm walking around them, it's because God knows he can trust me with saying the things that most people won't say. Right? I say those things because I know that we need to unify. I didn't know why God brought me to this community. I didn't even know this school community existed until I knew towards the end of last year. Right? And so here I am being a witness of this, but perhaps other people were in my position. Perhaps other people are in my position and they're not having the same experience that I'm having. And it's because maybe your heart is not open to receive. I will never forget what I'm experiencing at the school, working next to the teachers that don't look like me. My vanilla sisters are rocking it out. Okay? For all of the times I had to deal with racism, I was betrayed, I was forgotten, I was rejected. You think that matters in the present moment? No. Because sister is having a grand time. Because I know that when I come in contact and I come in rooms with other vanilla sisters that are, hesitant to come in contact with me, I know to give it time, but I only know how to respond to a vanilla woman is because of how my sisters are coming closer and engaging with me, and it helps me have more tools in my bucket so that, I'm better prepared for when God enlarges my territory, because I want to be a vessel that's used for God to help humanity, right? I'm already queen. There is no higher title than Kingdom Ambassador. There's no higher title than queen, right? So when you finally get to receive exactly who I am, I'm going to be out of here. But I'm going to spend my time making the most of my time, loving on people who love well and those who don't love well. But I don't think we give people enough credit for doing hard things, because these women I speak of, that probably was a hard thing for them to do, to receive me. I don't know. But if it was, I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of myself, because there's so many times where we'll stay at not understanding people. We'll stay at a place of saying, I don't want to go there. I'm just going to stay with my clique of people. Now, don't get me wrong. I say what's up to, the black and brown people in the building. I fellowship with everyone. Anyone that wants to fellowship with me, I fellowship with them. You hear me? I get to know people because I love people. So don't miss out on your opportunity to connect. And better yet, let down your pride and ego. Learn. These kids are doing math in their head. So, Miss Honey, sometimes I try to do the math in my head. I am becoming a greater person because the kids require me to know the information. They don't care what I don't know. Them kids be raising their hand, Miss Honey. I'm like, oh, Lord. And so hey, you gonna put me on the spot. I'm gonna put God on the spot. Yay, activate that learning. Okay? Help me out. You know what I'm saying? Until I get in the position of having all that I have. And I don't like to speak on where I'm headed. I'm just going to allow y'all to enjoy the process of me becoming Honey. Right? And I will never forget the experience of being an assistant. Because if you know, Joshua was an assistant to Moses. And Joshua was a great leader. If God didn't require me to let go of that, come out of that nonprofit sector and allow me to humbly come and assist teachers, assist queens, I would have never known what it would have felt like for someone to come to assist me. So when I was in leadership positions and I was in management, and I would come and I would encounter a level of jealousy. I'm like, what is this level of jealousy coming from? Sometimes you have to experience you have to experience the other side. And so when I first entered into the school system and I was thinking like assistant, I'm like, and people like, okay, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm the assistant this is the title I have. And they have that assistant word to it. I've worked in offices. I've done a lot of different things. But one thing I had not done yet was assist someone in the position, right? I was always getting positions. And so I'm like, dang, why would God take me on this journey? I'm so grateful that I trusted God I allowed God to allow me to have a pay cut. Because in that, I get to work with over 40 people at a time. And it really has starved selfishness, a selfish ambition. And it has required for me to be a selfless person. And sometimes when God is asking you to take a pay cut, it's because he's wanting to produce good fruit. And as he's producing good fruit, you're going to have to serve. And guess what? If I didn't take that pay cut, I wouldn't have seen the beauty of unity. I was like everybody else. Give me my portion. I want my portion. But no one will ever be able to take this experience of life that I have. I have a life of pouring into other people. I have a life of I have a life of witnessing other kids come alive. Right? And in that, God has been able to show me the direction that he wants me to go in my life. But this is not the first time that God has asked me to pause on what I want to become who he wants me to be. I never thought about being mother, but God called me to be a mother. And I paused, the ambition of a school student and all that stuff to raise my kids. And I had to do that alone. And And so soon as I was like, okay, I'm breaking ground. I got these things and I got the nonprofit. I got the books going. Let's go. Let's go. It's time. It's me time. And God was like, no, not yet. I want you to come and assist a group of people. I need you for this work. I want you to come in the school system. I'm like, after I get me, give me me, and then I'll come. No. Because when you really love someone, whatever's pressing on their heart, you're going to yield. So I yielded to God's design. And when I yielded and I gave it my full undivided attention, I'm here to reveal the secret. The secret is that you only get out of life what you're willing to put in. The secret is there is no race to success. The secret is that we all should be becoming a better version of ourselves so that we can connect together like a puzzle piece. And so that we can be a masterpiece that no matter who we come in contact with, if I'm talking to a vanilla brother, right? And he comes to me, I need to have that key that's a masterpiece. And I need to connect in with him and add value. Right? And if you're not adding value, if I'm not willing for one of my vanilla sisters or my vanilla brothers or my beautiful black brothers or sisters to go ahead of me, then I'm not created in Jesus' image or likeness, because Jesus even said greater works we will do. So if Jesus is not a hater, I'm not called to be a hater. If my mental health is good, if my heart is good, why don't I want the women's heart to be good that I'm working with? Right? The trade-off is that I get to elevate their minds about any misjudgment that they had about me and say, like, you never can judge a person based off where they are or where you perceive that they are, because you don't know a person's history, right? You don't know what a person made, right? You don't know what a person has in their possession. So the best thing you can do is to not allow material possessions to be who you are. Because God has come and said, give me all of that and prove to me that you love me. So I've been stripped. When I was in school, I was the brightest, the smartest. I was stripped of everything to come walk with God, to start this discipleship process. But as I'm doing it, I ran into so much hurt, pain, and jealousy and envy just to arrive here, just to say that I appreciate my Caucasian sisters and brothers. Because when I go in that building, there's an Officer Morrow that looks at me. He never addresses me like a black woman. There are so many beautiful connections that I have in that building from people that from the beginning, they didn't need any convincing to welcome me. And I don't want you to miss out on the beautiful relationships that you can have. You're going to have to tell people how they make you feel. Right? And if you want to encourage a vanilla sister or a chocolate brother or sister to keep up the good work, you're going to have to use your words. Excuse me. We have to, affirm each other. So, as I choke on nothing, but I'm a little cold. I have to cut my heat on, and I need to finish up what I'm doing. But listen, pay the compliment. It's worth it. I don't want to have all the fun learning things of life. Listen, when I get back to the place of material possessions, oh my God, I would never forget these days. I would never forget people that poured into me. I would never forget the beginning of certain relationships in that school where it took some people a lot longer to open that little heart, open up that little heart to create space. But my eyes get to see God work. Darkness can't do anything to God. Right? And so for those bosses who hadn't evolved yet to love and to receive Queen Lady Honey, there was a doctor, a woman with her doctorate ready to receive. And she had to trust that I was a perfect fit when she knew little about me. Right? And I'm just seeing God do beautiful things. And I know some of us are waiting for these big breakthroughs. The breakthrough is anything that I speak about, God is granting me the words. Right? All right. Before I close, in the X-Ed room, right, I get to see older women, right, open their hearts to me. And me open my heart to them. And we're developing genuine relationships. I don't believe that we will ever forget each other. Because I don't think that a lot of women have experienced it because I don't want anything from them. I'm not coming to take, I'm coming to pour. Right? And when you come, women with a heart to pour into another woman, a woman is going to open her heart to you. But if you're a taker, you're going to be dismissed. So as a leader, as a kingdom ambassador, right, I've told you how to respond to low functioning people. Be the standard. Be the standard. You have to be the standard, right? You have to say, you know what? The way that you're speaking to me is beneath what I accept for myself. You know, can we meet halfway? Can you bring that language up higher? I care to understand you. When you come to people like that, all of that chaos and confusion, the devil don't know how to respond to someone with some sense, right? So as long as you are mindful of who you are, you won't have a meaningless life. I'm not going to miss a day telling a woman that I love her, that I care for her, and that why I am so happy on the inside. I think sometimes God even contains my joy, my peace, and love to keep me hidden. Because I am having a time. And I thought I needed the house to have a time, the car to have the time, all of the monies to have a time. No, I'm having the best time of my life because I'm giving my time to pour into others, including myself and my children. I thought that I had to spend my time to be the biggest, greatest now to prove to everyone I'm the biggest and the greatest. No. I had to be okay with being the biggest, greatest, and become a quiet power. Right? Until you serve people and you learn how to serve people well, you will not know what I'm talking about. Right? So if you are in a position and God is giving you an opportunity to learn, don't miss your opportunity. Don't get to your next place and don't have the heart posture that God is asking you for. And if you are a person that you may have watched one video of honey, you need to consume another video. Get more content, because that subject matter, may not be that's not all who I am. So you need to hear more content so that you can know that my heart is unified, right? God is not going to allow me to be chaotic. I will be chastised for that, right? So I am taught how to speak truth with grace, right? So don't go out here trying to speak as I speak and do as I do, because there is power, there's authority for me to speak this way, right? So there's a way for you to love on a people without butt kissing. And so because I'm this color by happenstance, because I didn't ask for this color now, you get what I'm saying? But I'm showing you how to be a decent human being with dignity and honor. That's the hope. right? And the hope is that I'm not too proud to thank God for my blessings, privately and publicly. And so I have a freedom experience inside of my mind and heart, because I will go anywhere that Father wants to take me so that I can see the beauty on earth. So I'm experiencing God healing the land. Are you? And if you're not, tune in again. But listen, I'm Queen Lady Honey. Normally when I go live, I like to freestyle. I don't have anything. I don't have any instrumental or anything to do that with. So maybe I'll go a cappella. Okay, let's see. All right, Queen. You are a queen because you become behind scenes. Listen, you are living your dream real time. No one knows what it costs you to go from nonsense to be polished with seams of God. But it's because you went behind his wings to go to the hidden place. Those valleys is where you rest so that you can manifest that God exists. God existence lives inside of your oracle, right? And you are the woman that makes the sound that's a keepsake for all. Thank you for giving your best and being the best resolve for now. For such a time as this, we need you, Queen Lady Honey. I love y'all. I will continue to share nuggets. I hope that you have a great time learning. I hope that you have a great time loving. And to all of the women, the woman with the doctorate, I won't say her name because I stand behind the content that I say, but I want to keep her private because I love her. And to Miss Dillard, I love you too. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Let me not forget about Kayla Roman, girl. Yes. Right. That is my transparent buddy, man. I get to bro, I wish y'all could really experience a day. My days are so rich because they show me that, yes, I can develop relationships with people that don't look like me. Right? I don't have to default to the comfort of being around a black woman. Right? Sometimes it's okay to be vulnerable and transparent with a vanilla sister. So to my vanilla sisters, let's rock. Let's stick together. And Miss Romica, don't hold it against me, girl. You know I love you. I just love you. And I didn't write it down. I'm just going off the top of my head. But I enjoy our time together. I enjoy you shedding right before me. I enjoy you knowing that I'm a vault. Whatever we discuss is us. And I want to offer you that. And I want, for you to have these relationships with other women and you know that you're loved right where you are, And so, I'm here. The secret is out. The secret is, don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to win the day. And you win the day by inviting someone else to share in that victory. Share in the victory. Because if I got a trophy right now and God said you are my most valuable player, I would give honor to my principal. I would give honor to these women that work alongside of me. So the only reason I'm able to do such a great work for the kingdom of God is because these women are standing with me and making room, and they're not coming up against me. So I appreciate that, because when you see someone powerful, when you see someone living in their light, you can want to strip them down and tear them down. But I appreciate that God has given me mature women to love on me and to keep me, and even Miss Wood in the ex-ed room, the way that the type of conversations that we have. I know that God knocked down walls. I know that God moved. And so I'm grateful for the mighty move of God. I would keep y'all posted. So whatever I see, I try to come on here to give God credit for what he's doing in my life. Because I'm not just excited for what God is doing for me. He's already done it for me. I can't say what God has already done because he's already done it. Come on, somebody. I'm worth more than $1 million. You hear me? Oh God, I became, honey. Now I'm about to elevate that. That's the best thing I could ever receive because I hold the power. Oh goodness. Come on, somebody. So I want to make sure that I come on here in love, and I'm sending love, life, hope, and prosperity. God, may we all have prosperous mindset. May what you're doing, God, that you are planting a seed in all these women that I've mentioned. And God, that when I elevate, they will elevate. They will elevate in love, right? They will elevate in prosperity. Hallelujah, God. They will elevate so that we can continue to see a ripple effect of love, right? An outpour, a crying of unity, just based off what God has exposed in the hearts of the people. So God, I thank you for exposing the people. I thank you for trusting us. And I'm excited to see what's next. So thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. What's up, Hope? And I just hope that you guys can look for God. Where's the miracle happening in your life? But as always, stay up, stay blessed, stay encouraged. Until next time.